Welcome back to Tokyo, Japan for the 2019 World Open Sub-Junior, Junior and Masters Classic and Equipped Bench Press Championships, and it has been an absolutely outstanding day of lifting today with world records dropping left, right and centre. And we are just about to get underway. We'll have the 74 kilo men and followed straight by the 83 kilo men. And of course, none other than Chrissy, Tasmanian Devil Shamley, is joining me in the commentary box again. Hasn't it been absolutely exciting?
Fantastic, Gary. Really enjoyed all of this lifting here in Tokyo, Japan.
And it's going to get better this afternoon. Opening up this session, Kazuhiro Ishikawa from the Philippines looking for 120. But looking at the opening nominations, Kadama from Japan has put in a 2:10.
Yeah.
The Open world record is 2:12.5. The Masters world record is 180, and he just happens to be a Masters 1 this year.
Yeah. Oh, it's this year. Okay. Fantastic. So he can set a whole lot of new records. Ishikawa. Smooth.
And handles 120. Good opening lift. Probably set himself up a little bit close to the rack there. Clipped it on the way through, but no assist. Danny Potter from Great Britain, 147.5.
And Kadama, of course, is a IPF Hall of Famer. He was inducted into the IPF Hall of Fame last year.
I think it was last year.
Last year, or the year before, was it?
2019?
19 now.
It has been a long day.
Time flies.
So the year before, I think Kadama was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yes,
if I
that's
remember
what
rightly.
I'm thinking now too. And here we have Potter of Great Britain.
147.5. And he puts some magic on that one.
Good
and gets it to the top.
Next.
I heard what you did there.
Canada, 150
I got it.
Loch Newen from Canada, 150.
Bars loaded.
He is very, very focused.
Quite detailed instructions about how to do the lift off.
Yeah, look, it only takes a couple of seconds to do that, and you get the bar where you want it. And if you're there, prepared, ready to go when they call bar loaded, you've got the time to do that.
How many lifters have we got in the under 74 kilo class,
So
Gary?
this is a 9 lift session.
Okay.
And then we'll have 13 in the 83s. Newen handles that without any problems. And we expect that there's about plenty of experience on this platform today.
Right.
Joshua Wright from Germany, 157.5.
157.5 kilograms.
The spotters and loaders changing those plates at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Bar is loaded.
And here comes Joshua Wright. So he's opening 157.5, which is, I think, his biggest competition lift.
That's a fantastic lifting suit. The green really shows up well on the camera.
You can certainly recognise him from a long way away. Probably a little tougher than he wanted there. Just got a little bit offline, but he gets the 3 white lights and he goes on the board.
Jason,
It's
USA.
quite interesting for me to see the spread in the opening attempts in this weight class. We've got everything from 120 all the way through to what, 210?
210, yeah, it's
It's
quite a big spread.
a big spread, a big difference in.
Yeah, it's always interesting to watch the men too. So men in powerlifting, particularly in the bench,
Bar is loaded.
continue to add and make gains even into their Masters years. So those
certainly.
years of experience makes an enormous difference. You know, Kadama is a perfect example of that.
Yeah. Of course, I think we see with the younger ones, they make the gains quicker.
They do make them a lot quicker. So if you're sitting at home watching this and you're 40 years old thinking about taking up powerlifting, it is never too late to start this sport. Jason Menikoff from the US of A, 177.5. These are huge numbers for raw lifters in the under 74.
It always has been a super competitive weight class,
Certainly
this
is,
though,
and
hasn't
in
it?
the 83s.
Good
They
lift.
have a tendency to be very competitive as well.
Garbus,
So he gets that one on the
Marseille,
board.
Poland, 185 kilograms.
Larson Garbus from Poland, 185.
Bars loaded.
It's a good quick ball there. And very smooth
Wow.
all the way through.
Good lift. Next.
Bastien
Poirier,
Poirier
Bastien,
from France,
197.5 kilograms.
197.5. And they're getting into the big
Bars
ones
loaded.
now. He's focused, he knows the bar is loaded, and he's just going out on his time.
Gary, do you have any idea how many of these lifters compete solely as bench press only lifters, or, you know, the other way of saying it, how many are also full powerlifting competitors?
Yeah, look, I haven't got any numbers, but a lot of these guys are competing in 3 lift as well throughout the year. We certainly get a good handful of lifters that are bench only, and they have a number of different reasons for that. But a lot of these guys will hit 3 lift competitions as well.
Whoa, that was nice.
That was a very
Good
fast
lift.
197.5.
Next. Chuprenko,
Ivan
Ivan, Ukraine,
Renko
205
from Ukraine,
kilograms.
205.
So, do you think Chuprenko could actually challenge Kadama here today?
Yeah, look, I mean, given his history of lifting, yeah, I mean, he's got a personal best of 212.5. Kadama, if I remember rightly, 210 is pretty close to his best lift. He's done a record before at 211.5. Kadama did have the world record at 211.5. Not quite sure how to. We really don't know how far past 210 Kadama can go.
Yes.
So Chuprenko's certainly setting
Good
himself
lift.
up to challenge that
Next.
gold medal with a
Kodama,
205.
Nike,
And
Japan,
now
210
Kadama
kilograms.
with 210
World
kilograms.
M1 record attempt.
He is opening 30 kilograms above the world M1 record.
Bars loaded.
He's added 30 kilograms to the world M1 record. He's got a huge, huge support crowd here. The stadium is full and loud.
Gary, I was wondering why I was struggling to hear you. This place is packed. They've turned out in droves to see Kadama.
It is standing room only
He's an
here
absolute
in Tokyo,
legend.
Japan.
And I just had a look at the centre lift out guy, the look on his face at the thought of the idea of lifting out for Kadama. This has just made his year.
Yeah, he's certainly well known. Ah, he's going to go a long way over 210 for that one.
Good
And he
lift.
gets the world record
Sakai Hiro Fukuoshi.
with 2 lifts to go. So that is the Masters record. I dare say he'll be knocking on the door of the World Open record on his next lift at probably 215, I'd imagine, maybe 220.
Absolutely. He's just a joy to watch as well. And something about Kadama that most people notice is he's always smiling. He's a really happy person. And I had the privilege of interviewing him for an article in the IPF magazine 2 editions back now. We put him on the cover. And his philosophy is really very simple. He's just enjoys life, finds the fun, finds the happiness. He says happiness is strength. He actually sees
It's
that.
certainly converting for him on the bench, isn't it?
But there's just a sort of vibe and an energy that comes out of him that the whole crowd here can relate to and want to relate to.
And they absolutely love him here. Kazuhiro Ishikawa from the Philippines now wants 130. And this will be his best competition lift.
Excellent to do that on his second lift here.
And that was a very, very good 130.
Yeah, wonderful.
Good lift.
And 3 white lights.
Next.
So Danny Potter
Great Britain,
from
105
Great Britain,
kilograms.
155.
Bars loaded.
38 years of age. He's a personal trainer. And he's representing his country at World Bench Press Championships.
Not bad at all. So he lifted a 162.5 at the Annual Classic last year, so this should be a pretty easy lift.
Oh,
Has to work a little bit on that right side, but it never
Yep.
really looked in doubt.
Good lift.
probably not the best line he's ever taken on pressing that. I just think he got a bit too vertical at the top,
Yeah,
and it's
seeing
quite
the
hard
replay
to.
here, it just moves around a little bit there, but he muscled through.
Certainly
Lock.
got plenty of muscles.
He has plenty of that. Lock Nguyen from Canada, 157.5.
Bars loaded.
We are moving through these rounds very, very quickly.
And of course, we'll see many of these guys put the bench shirt on later on in the week and have a crack at the equipped
We'll see a lot of these guys. So Lock Nguyen
competition.
looking for 157.5. He did a 160 last year at the North American Bench Press Championships. And he is a free lifter, also competed in the 3 lift national championships last year as well. So has no problem.
lift.
Oh, he gets 2 red lights there.
Next.
It looks like it may have been for
Right.
feet.
Joshua, Germany.
Butt lift.
Butt came off the
162.5
bench.
kilograms.
We can see that
Certainly
quite clearly
did.
on the replay. Joshua Wright, 162.5.
Bars loaded.
Certainly looks like he does a lot of benching.
He is certainly built like a bench presser. So 162.5, well above his best competition lift.
Isn't it interesting, Gary?
Oh, he's had to work hard for that. From this angle, it looked good. Let's wait and see.
Oh, that was heavy.
No lift.
And he gets no lift. So he's going to have to
Menikoff, Jason, USA.
reevaluate how he pushes this one.
187.5 kilograms.
Looks like that bar might have
yes,
just
I
moved
see
a
it.
little.
Yeah, I didn't see that when it happened, but there it was.
Jason Menikoff from the US of A, 187.5.
Bar is loaded.
And Kadala has put in a 221.
Nice.
Wants to really own that world record.
Yeah, I was just noticing how in a previous weight class, a lower weight class, we had a cluster of lifters who were not gripping the bar fully, as we watch Menikoff here.
Wow, he
Oh!
descends so quickly.
Yeah.
No limits.
And it seemed like it was quite the thing to do in that weight class, was to try and get maximum grip,
Jarvis,
and
Marcin,
hence they didn't have a
Poland,
good grip on the bar. And they were pulled up
190
rightly for it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there was actually quite a few of them who were doing it.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I've been watching the hands, not one of these lifters are doing the wrong thing in terms of their grip. They've all got correct grip on the bar. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I mean, and it is interesting. And I mean, we do tend to see the lighter weight classes trying more and more to reduce that range of motion as they get to the top of their lifting game. You know, to add more kilos to try to reduce the range of motion.
Good lift.
The bigger weight classes have the advantage of being able to
Next.
muscle their way out of
Bastien,
things.
France, 205 kilograms.
Bastien Poirier from France, 205.
Bar is
So
loaded.
I guess they also watch each other and they know each other. They know who's in their weight class around the world, and they probably watch their training videos. And maybe if one of them starts doing something like that, they all start.
Different technique trends do tend to find their way
trends,
through
exactly.
different groups
Through a
as
weight
well.
class.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Poirier.
And you know, throughout your whole lifting career, you're always developing,
Yep.
always changing, always growing.
And perhaps
And looking
influenced
for
a little
new
bit
ways
by
to get a little bit
others,
more. And
yeah.
yeah, absolutely, they're influenced by other lifters as well. Bastien Poirier, 205.
Gee, he's not really far off the pace, really. He's in such incredible company, but
Good lift.
Talking
Chaprenko
about
benched
incredible
this for the
company,
opener.
Ivan,
Ivan
Ukraine,
Chaprenko
213
is going
kilograms.
for a world record,
Okay.
World record
213 kilos. So he's
Sakai
decided
Kidoko
he wants to
Johnson.
take a crack at this world open record first and push Kadama as far as he can, and maybe trying to push him into making a mistake with his lift selection.
You know, I was talking to you about how many of these lifters are bench press only, and how many compete in full lift. And I just remembered something from my interview with Kadama. He is bench press only.
He
does
is a
not.
bench only, yeah.
He does not compete in full lift. And I
Bars
asked him
loaded.
why, and he said because I love benching.
And that's a good reason.
That he just loves benching.
So a world record attempt here, 213 kilograms.
And everyone in this stadium is craning for a look at this lift.
This gentleman here has been bench only for quite a long time as well.
Oh,
Oh, he has no problems handling that one. He just
Good lift.
beat his
New
own world record
Sakai
of
Kidoko
212.5.
Next, Kodama Daiki, Japan, 221 kilograms.
So Kadoma now is going to have to do 221 and a half.
World record attempt.
So
Sakai
Chaprenko
Kidoko
is another one who's bench only.
who's that, sorry?
Chaprenko, Ivan
Yep.
from
Oh,
Ukraine
he
is
as
bench
well.
only as well. His record was 212.5. It's now 213, just set by him himself. And now Kadama wants to take that record as well with 221.
This is a little bit of a gamble here, because obviously if he misses the 221,
It is a big, big gamble.
he's let's put it this way, he really has to get the 221
He has
to
yeah.
win as well.
That's where he puts himself.
Yeah.
And Chaprinko will see him again, I think, later in the week lifting equipped. He has a massive equipped lift on him as well. And just think about these numbers: 213 kilos world record, under 74 kilos. And now Kadama weighed in at 73.78, lifted at 221. He just destroyed the Masters record by 30 kilograms. And now wants to smash the Open record as well.
Very efficient setup too.
And the crowd has just gone
You can
absolutely
hear a
silent,
pin drop in
waiting
here.
for this lift. This is huge. Good control.
Oh,
And
Kadama!
he puts it to the top
He's done it
and
for
takes
sure.
that world record of 221
Oh my
kilograms.
goodness!
Absolutely fantastic. Where did he go now? Chaprinko has put in 221.5 for his third lift.
Kilograms.
Faultless,
Ishikawa
admittedly
now.
difficult.
It was a bit tougher than his usual lifts. Ishikawa from the Philippines now, 135, so we're into the last round now. And Chaprinko and Kadama are going to battle this out. So Kadama has put in 225, and he'll wait and see what Chaprinko does on his last lift. So the 225 he's put in
Bars
there
loaded.
to hold his place as last lifter, and he'll lift what he has to lift to win.
The 225 is him pressing 3 times his body weight raw.
That is amazing.
Weighed in at 73.78 this morning.
So Ishikawa now from the Philippines, 135.
You know, most people are happy to deadlift, ecstatic to deadlift 3 times their body weight.
And bench pressing it raw, not equipped.
Not equipped. 135.
He's working pretty
Ishikawa.
hard. I'm pretty sure that left-hand side might have dipped. Let's have a look, and it
No
has
lift.
got 3 red lights. I think his butt might have lifted as well.
It's a really good attempt, and he's so happy,
Canada.
I think, with
160
the
kilograms.
experience, as you would be.
Lock Newen, 160. There's not a whole lot of
Bars
time between
loaded.
lifts. These guys are loading the bar in seconds flat. So 160 on the bar. He holds a national record. Set a national record at 160.5. So 160 is getting up there to the top of his lift. Let's see how it moves.
Must be a record he set, 160.5.
160.5 national record in Canada.
Okay. Speed
And
was
it
the call.
certainly is the top of his game, but he managed to push it all the way up. It should be a good lift, and it
Good lift.
is. And he's happy with that.
Next, Potter, Danny. Great
Danny
weight, 160
Potter.
kilograms.
160 kilograms.
Very respectfully went round and not only shook hands but bowed to all the referees.
Bars loaded.
Yeah, plenty of respect to the referees here this week. Danny Potter, 160 on the bar.
Yep, let's see how Danny handles this. Big lift. I think it's a PB for him. At least at Worlds.
It is a competition personal best, that's for sure.
Danny, come on now. There it is.
And that should be
Actually,
good.
You know, that was a better lift than
That
the previous
looked
one.
better than the second.
Yeah,
It
that was
is.
a great lift.
Danny the
Next,
Wizard Potter gets it on the board.
Joshua, 100 kilograms.
Joshua Wright, 162.5. Had some problems with this one on his second attempt.
Yeah.
Bars loaded.
Just missed his line, his usual bar path. Just needs to get focused, not think about the weight, and just stick to that technique.
One of the things that can happen at these big sort of events is lifters can tend to get a bit affected by the adrenaline of the occasion, and the effect that can have is make you rush your setup or your timing in the whole
It's a completely
approach.
different world lifting on this platform.
Oh, he rolled left. But
He
it's
touched a lot
better.
better. That should be a good lift. And it is. He gets it on the board. Well done.
Next,
Jason Menikoff from the USA, 187.5.
He's got a little instability there on his left side. He just his hip and side dipped down, so maybe he's not quite feeling perfectly in alignment and symmetrical.
And also, I mean, you mentioned the different environment. I mean, this is a very, very different platform. You've got international
Bars
referees.
loaded.
You've got a full stadium. You've got cameras on you, lights on you.
You're being scrutinised.
Everything is very different. You are. You're being scrutinised by everyone.
Everybody.
Jason Menikoff from the US of A, 187.5.
Yeah, there's.
No, he's not happy with something. He's not happy with something, but coach has said
No,
he's
Is
got
he
a cramp.
lightheaded?
He's got a cramp, I think.
he's lightheaded, is he? Or has he got a
I
cramp?
think he has a cramp in either his calf muscle or his hamstring.
And this isn't going to
And
help.
It's going to be very difficult. Wow.
Oh,
I don't know how he managed
goodness
that.
me. Oh,
And his
everything's
butt
come.
is way off the bench now.
no, no.
No lift.
Unfortunately, no lift.
Next,
He
Garbus
just
Marcin,
cramped up a little
Poland,
bit.
197.5 kilograms.
That's what we do to try and get the bar to go up.
Lifted everything off the bench there.
I think he was really cheesed off that all happened to him, so he got wild in the end and just said, I'll lift it anyway I like.
One of those times where you just don't want a cramp to happen.
Yes. And that's the other thing that happens, it tends to happen in competition rather than at home in the gym, is you cramp.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Marcin Garbus from Poland now, 197.5.
Oh, Garbus puts everything into it.
Not enough.
Oh,
Just
what?
looking at Menikoff's
No lift.
weight there, he weighed in 73.8, so just under. So it's possible that he's had to try and cut a bit of weight, drop some water, and try and weigh in, and that can add to that cramping as well. Bastien Poirier from France, 210 kilograms.
Look, you're absolutely right. That process
Bars
of making
loaded.
weight can make the cramps. But I think it can also happen to people when their body's
Absolutely.
just super
It could
tensing
just-
up
it just
more than it ever
happens
has.
throughout lifting
Yeah.
as well. Doesn't have to be any reason behind it. Sometimes the body
Just
just
happens,
decides
yeah.
No more changes for
this is
next
the
move.
moment.
Is cramp possibly related to stress or adrenaline or
It
arousal
certainly
like that?
can be. Yeah.
Okay.
It's usually related mostly to chemical balances
Right.
and mineral balances in the body
Electrolytes and whatnot.
and electrolytes.
yeah.
But when we're using adrenaline, when we're using this much energy,
That can throw the balance
it
out, I
certainly
suppose,
does
too.
throw the balance out. Yeah.
So what can lifters do in this predicament,
Just prevention is the best medicine.
right? Oh,
Oh, that's a little bit too much.
no. Wow. close.
Double left.
And he's having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a handshake with the spotters there.
Ivan, Ukraine.
They saved his face.
221.5
Now,
kilograms.
Ivan,
World record attack.
Ivan Shaprenko from the Ukraine, 221.5 kilograms, wants that world record back again. And he is going to push
Kadama all the
all
way.
the way to the end of this line. And this is the last chance he has to push him. So Kadama's got 225 on the board, waiting to see whether Shaprenko puts this one on the board.
Look, the expressions in the crowd. They can't believe it.
We've got people with hands over their faces. They've come here to watch some big lifts, and look at all those Alico plates on that bar.
Bars loaded.
221.5. That is a beautiful picture. Ivan Shaprenko from the Ukraine with
It's
a
the lift of his
massive
life.
221.5. It's all or nothing.
It's a bit of a jump, but it's also a huge ask.
He has the advantage of being an equipped lifter as well.
Okay, here
So
we go.
he knows what this feels like.
Oh,
Oh, he gave it everything. He gave it everything, but he'll go home with a silver medal.
Last
And
lifter.
knowing that he held that world record for a few minutes, and knowing that he pushed Kadama all the way to the end, and Kadama has decided he's not changing, he's sticking to 225.
I was
He
wondering
has the
about
world
that.
record, he has the gold medal, he doesn't need to change.
I really wondered if he'd even take it to try and save energy.
So here we go, 225 for Kadama.
Don't you just love how he's always smiling?
He's a very calm lifter as well.
Yep,
You don't see the aggression.
yep.
Even on the corner now, he's out there
Bars
having a bit of a
loaded.
laugh, having a chat with his coach, having a bit of a laugh with them. 225 for a world record.
And he's very humble.
So this will be World Open record and World Masters record. The crowd is right behind him.
What is it? Oh,
He's got it up there. Let's wait for the referee's decision. And it is, it's 3 white lights. Kadama sets the new world record of 225 kilograms and takes the gold medal in the 74s. Shaprenko has to take home the silver, but pushed him all the way to the end. Right now, we roll straight into the 83 kilo class.
Kadama is shaking all the jury hands. And
And in the 83s, we might be looking at a world record attempt as well. Suzuki
India.
is opening at 207. The world record is 215.
I don't think there's ever been a more popular bench press champion than Kadama.
He is, without a doubt, a local hero. The stadium is absolutely chockers full. And they're not going anywhere because Suzuki is opening at 207.5 in this weight class, which is just a smidge under the world record of 215. But he is going to be pushed by Georgia as well. But right now, Sajjad Hassan from India looking at 132.5. Just giving the bar a quick clean.
And the vacuum cleaner out to get some chalk off that carpet.
Whilst they pull out the specialised Alico vacuum cleaner that is IPF approved, much like the IPF approved Alico waffle iron.
Yes. You're not going to go on about that,
Well,
are
no,
you?
I might present my address for delivery.
You want
I'm
one.
sure they're going to get me one. I'm very sure. But Alico, we talk about Alico, and we talk about Alico and the sponsors all the time. And it's not just because they're our sponsors; it's because we're powerlifters and coaches, and we just know how good their stuff is.
This rack height's really
He has
high.
very long arms, so you'll notice that a lot of the Indian lifters, they're quite tall men, and they're quite flat in the way they lift as well.
Yeah.
So very flat lifting. And he handles the weight without any problems. He might get one red light, and he does. And that was for his foot
Next.
lifting off the ground.
Did it? Okay.
McGee, Dan.
Dan McGee, Great Britain, 147.5. So we have 13 lifters in this group. And we have a Formula One team of spotters and loaders.
Bars loaded.
And the bar is loaded for McGee.
Dan McGee.
I swear that sounds like a song.
There's Bobby McGee, isn't it?
Great Britain, Dan McGee, 147.5. Taking his time to get set up there. Fast descent,
Wow.
fast press as well.
Whoa.
He'll probably look at setting himself up a fraction further away from the rack on his
Yeah,
next
just
lift.
clip the rack there.
But the bar was moving so fast, the rack didn't slow it down.
T. Chris, Great Britain, 160 kilograms.
No, he bounced off it.
Chris DeGee from Great Britain now looking for 160.
Says he's a floor specialist.
Bars loaded.
Not entirely sure what type of floors he specialises in.
No.
$160 on the bar. Referees looking on closely.
28 years of age, competing only 3 years. There we go.
And that should be a good lift. And it is.
Next. Zivos, Adam, Hungary, 165 kilograms.
Adam Zivos from Hungary, 165. For his opening lift.
Bars loaded.
It's interesting in this 83 kilo class. I know it's obvious to say, but the men's bodies are getting much bigger looking. They're often a bigger framed person.
Good lift.
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting because these are under 83 classes, and you look at some of these guys, and they look like they weigh 120 kilograms.
Yeah.
But they all got weighed in.
Yeah. Yes, they did get weighed in.
Ryan Mcclellan from Canada, 170. And just having a look at where this might go today. Suzuki from Japan, opening at 207.5. The record's 215. He did a 222.5 raw at the Asian Bench Press Championships last year.
Asian Bench Press Championships. The Canadian?
Classic. No, Suzuki from Japan.
Sorry.
That was quick, had to move it a long way. Very flat style of benching, but he's very fast.
Next. Kroshofer,
Jürgen
Austria, 175
Roshofer from
kilograms.
Austria, 175. Opening on a personal best. Listed his job on his profile as a worker.
Yep.
175 loaded on the bar.
Bars loaded.
Some quick instructions to the head spotter there.
Yep.
Three Alico plates lined up on either side.
That's a great side, isn't
Fantastic
it?
picture.
Just dipping down on the left side there.
It should be okay. It's allowed to come up unevenly, and it is. Gets it on the board, but it's going to find it hard as the weight gets heavier, though.
Milani, Georgia, 182.5 kilograms.
Yeah, there's a few Georgians here.
Yeah, I've seen a fairly reasonably sized team for
Yeah.
this one. Lavani from Georgia now, 182.5. There's two Georgians in
Bars
this
loaded.
one
Yeah.
because his teammate is looking to push and challenge Suzuki.
Okay.
So 182.5, well away from his best lift.
Oh,
they've got
what's
the
happened
rack
here?
height wrong.
Rack height's wrong.
Rack height is
Safety rack.
incorrect, I would
Too
say.
high.
Safeties
No lift.
look to be in the wrong position.
Next, Beck Gunderson, Kim, Norway,
It'll be
107.5
interesting
kilograms.
to see. And now Kim Beck Gunderson from Norway, 187.5. Now, the spotters and loaders set the rack heights to what is on the screen. And what is on the screen is the rack heights that are given to our controllers over there by them or their coaches.
Bars loaded.
Yeah, they're
So
just.
if they've entered the wrong rack height, so if they've given them that rack height, then it is their responsibility to fix it.
Yeah, there was just a bit of confusion in the team there about where to go to change their heights. Beck Gunderson now
And he handles that
187.5.
pretty well.
Good
Excellent.
lift.
Solid lift.
Next,
Yeah, so they have to hand that in to
Yeah, so
the
they're going
technical
to have
desk.
to make a
Shield,
rack
Garrett,
height, safety
Germany,
height change.
190
Garrett
kilograms.
Shield from Germany, 190. So a lot of people might be watching at home and thinking the spotters have made a mistake. The spotters can
First
only
loaded.
do what's put on the screen in front of them.
And all the Eleiko racks out the back in the warm-up area are exactly the same as the one here in front of you. And so the numbering system for the pin heights for everything is the same. Shield.
All right, 190 should go on the board.
Good
And he gets
lift.
two white lights. Yeah, look, occasionally what happens is
Satsurian Volodymyr,
athletes often know their rack
Ukraine,
height.
197.5
But there are
kilograms.
a couple of bottles of Alico racks from a few years ago that were numbered a little bit differently. And they changed the numbering system.
Bars loaded.
Okay.
So occasionally athletes think they know their rack heights and don't bother to check them. And we have a rack at a competition event that's the same as the rack on the platform for athletes to check their rack heights on.
The other thing is, before the athlete lifts for their session, they can certainly come out onto the actual platform when no one's there and just check it themselves.
Fast descent
Very quick,
from Vladimir.
super powerful.
Good
And
lift.
it was a fast lift. 3 white lights and it's on the board.
Galdon.
Galdon from Mongolia, 197.5.
197.5 kilograms. Bars loaded.
Right, he's getting up among.
Yeah, he's getting
Medal
up among the
contention.
medal positions here. Looking like he could be trying to challenge for a bronze medal, or maybe even a silver.
Mongolians have come a long way in just 3 years of really getting into the international scene here in the IPF, particularly the bench press. That seems to be a favourite event for them.
And the IPF grows and grows every year. And he's got that one back to the top. Very nicely done. Should be 3 whites, and it is. I was talking to Robert Keller earlier, obviously one of our great referees,
200 kilograms.
and said that we should be reaching 120 member nations this year.
This year, okay. Yeah, well, he does.
Absolutely enormous.
As the Secretary General of the IPF, he handles all the new member applications, and he would know what's in the pipeline.
So, David Rivale from Georgia, 200 kilograms. Is he the one who's going to push Suzuki as far as he can? The chief referee just spotting a misload and asking the timer to be restarted.
You're just double checking that now.
All right, the spotters and loaders are moving very, very quickly. Occasionally,
Bars loaded.
a bit of a misload here and there. The chief referee's job is to check that bar before bar loaded is called.
They're ultimately responsible, aren't they?
So 200 kilograms on the bar, looking to push Suzuki as far as he can. A little bit slow on the left. And I don't think it was a major issue. 2 white lights, and that's enough now. 207.5 from Suzuki from Japan.
So this is our top opener here.
And the crowd is getting loud again.
Very popular with the crowd. He can't stop smiling. Just happy to be here.
He's in his home country.
That's right.
Bars loaded.
He's the #1 contender. The crowd is cheering for him. Doesn't get any better than that.
No, lift out. Gets that bar where he wants it. Good
Now,
bar.
the last major competition I have recorded for him in a 3-lift event was back in 2002. And he has lifted well above this. Smooth all the way.
Well, the crowd loves it.
And you could hear the crowd
Next.
almost silenced by how fast it moved.
India, 140 kilograms.
So we're coming around for round 2 now. Sajjad Hussain from India, 140. And every international event we go to, the Indian team gets bigger and bigger. But not only do they get bigger and bigger, they get more and more experience. And you can watch their coaches and their lifters. Their team dynamics keeps changing every one of these events. It's so fantastic to see.
Absolutely. You can really see the coaching has improved over the last 2, 3, 4 years.
One of the reasons that the coaches change and the experience changes is because everyone helps and supports each other out in that warm-up room. So other coaches are more than happy to share their knowledge and advice. And athletes talk to each other, they work together, they work in with each other in the warm-up room. And he has a long, long way to move that bar.
Oh.
But he moved it very quickly on his opening lift. And
Oh, he's
that
a
was smooth all the
smooth
way
presser.
through. It never faltered.
Good
3
lift.
white lights, a very, very nice
Next.
lift.
McGee.
Then
down. Great
McGee,
Britain, 155 kilograms.
not to be confused with Bobby McGee, is looking for 155. From Great Britain. And the chief referee just checking the plate load. And that is his job. He will not call bar loaded until his short's right.
Bars loaded.
Dan McGee, 155. The crowd goes silent every time someone sets up. And it just shows the respect from the audience, though.
There's huge respect here. People who come to a bench press only championship, safe to say
No
they
lift.
absolutely love bench
Next.
pressing
T.
because
Chris. Great Britain.
Oh, and that was a no lift.
167.5 kilograms.
oh, what happened there?
I'm not sure what he got no lifted for.
I couldn't see
Well,
on
if we
the
find
replay.
out, we'll let you
But
know.
it was
he'll be
3
back
yellows,
out.
Bars
so
loaded.
something moved.
Chris Tague from Great Britain now wants 167 and a half. Takes that big breath. And a very, very strong lift.
Good lift.
3 white lights.
Next. Zivos. Adam. Hungary. 170 kilograms.
Now, Chrissy, I know you're a big fan of equipped lifting. Is there anyone in particular you're really looking forward to watching lift this week?
Yeah, Kadama.
Bars loaded.
Oh, look, I just love watching the variety in front of your eyes of all these different lifters and how they approach equipped lifting, how they solve the problem of their mechanics and their strengths and weaknesses.
Adam
Oh,
Savos,
good
170,
smooth
and it is
lift.
solid all the way through.
Yeah.
Good lift.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about equipped lifting is there's so many variables that are suddenly introduced in getting the best out of the shirt and working with how the shirt can impede you if you don't use it
Yeah,
correctly.
absolutely.
And it can bring a host of problems with it. And you have to solve those problems for your, as I said, body shape and your particular
Bars loaded.
weaknesses and strengths and the path that the bar moves and all these sorts of things. And, even just trying to get the fit of the shirt right, the correct custom-made shirt for your lever lengths and your torso length. And
Yeah, it's not something you can just grab off a shelf.
Correct.
I mean, there's certainly pre-made ones you
Yeah,
can buy
and
that
a
will
lot-
fit you, that you can use to learn
Yeah,
and
you
train
can.
and compete locally. But when you're going to be competing at this level, you need a shirt that is made for you. Ryan Mcclellan nails 177 and a half.
Yeah, another long-armed
Good lift.
bench presser who's got this
Next.
fantastic technique
Kosovo,
and obviously
Jurgen,
loves bench pressing.
Austria. 185 kilograms.
In fact, he's
Jurgen.
long-limbed. So-
Long-limbed
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah.
Jürgen Groshofer from Austria, 185. And if you've never watched equipped lifting before, tune in
Bars
this week.
loaded.
because it is absolutely magnificent to watch, and the power of some of these guys that will be lifting is absolutely phenomenal.
I think that's the other thing that appeals to me and probably some other people, is there's quite the element of danger in the equipped lifting, in the
You're
equipped
holding
benching.
250, 280, 300 kilos above your head.
Well, it depends who you are.
It's a frightening moment.
Oh, no.
And it's just a little bit much. That 10-kilo jump was just a bit
Yeah.
too much for him. So that'll be a
Next.
no lift.
Lamani
Lamani from Georgia, 190.
I mean, even just, you know, the lighter weight people who aren't going to hold 250 or 300 kilo, but certainly they're going to hold something that they can't lift raw.
That's right. They're
And
holding,
yet they
have
holding
to
a weight that
control-
is well beyond their
exactly.
raw lift.
And that is an element of danger and adrenaline and thrill that is just created by the fact that you've got this shirt on. And so you've got another skill. You've got to create mental skill to handle a weight like that, let alone press it.
190
Oh.
is just a little too much.
Just couldn't get.
And
No lift.
yeah, no lift. And as we predicted, Suzuki
Next.
is putting a 215.5.
Okay.
Beck Gunderson,
to
Kim,
crack the world record
Norway,
there on his second lift.
195 kilograms.
Kim Beck Gunderson from Norway, 195. Just shy of his best lift of 196, which I think, if I remember rightly, I think he set that this year as a national record.
Bars loaded.
But I will find out. Well, let's watch him do 195.
Yeah, all strength there.
And
Good
three
lift.
white
Marvelous.
lights.
Next, Shield, Garrett, Germany, 197.5 kilograms.
And interesting too, when I look at this scorecard with the under 83 kilo class, Suzuki's actually the lightest lifter.
Bars loaded.
Weighed in at 80.6.
Yeah. Oh, I beg your pardon. The Indian lifter Hussain was weighed in at 79.66. So,
Just
Oh,
a fraction lighter
and then
there.
I just saw another one. Okay, forget that.
We will get you a special screen, Chrissy.
Thank you. Can't see. Oh, bring it back. There it is.
Garrett Shields made of steel and puts
Good
up
lift.
197.5 with nothing but
Next.
muscle.
Galdan Urjabul, Mongolia, 202.5 kilograms.
Galdan from Mongolia now 202.5. He wants to try and push his way up into these medals.
Just a 5 kilo jump on his first attempt.
He's had a look at all these
Bars
guys
loaded.
tossing for the medals and wants to have a go himself. This will be his best competition lift. 202.5. The Mongolian team gaining exceptional experience at this competition.
Just a little meditative moment there before he lays on the bench. Perhaps he collects his thoughts or visualises the
and
lift. Or
every athlete has their own little thing they like to do before a lift. You'll see some will sit on the end of the bench, take a deep breath. Some will stomp their feet. Some will fist pump.
Oh,
And it's a little bit too much.
No lift.
so that opener was high
Next,
for him.
So it's going to be a
But-
stretch
Saturday.
now.
He could
Volodymyr,
possibly get that on
Ukraine,
his next
205
attempt,
kilograms.
but there's not a lot more in him.
It's going to be a big push now for him. Vladimir from the Ukraine now looking at 205. So he's looking to push these guys and try and find his way up into the medals.
Absolutely.
And he is a fraction
Bars loaded.
lighter than the Georgian. So he is forcing Davitt to outlift him. .205. Such a fast descent, but such a fast press as well. When he drops that bar
Good
so
legs.
quickly, my heart almost sinks.
Next.
But it's something that works for him.
David,
It's an
Georgia,
equipped
205 kilograms.
bencher trait.
Very
Bars
much.
loaded.
And Davitt from Georgia now, 205 as well. So he will need to outlift Vladimir to take the silver medal. And he's going to be hard
he's gotta
pressed to
work
outlift
through.
him because
Oh.
205 was a little bit much.
No left.
Gosh, that was a good attempt.
Next.
He got plenty of speed off the chest, but
Japan,
just couldn't convert.
215.5 kilograms.
Now for the world record
World
attempt at
record
215.5 from Yusuke Suzuki
Charleston.
from Japan.
Oh, what a great shot.
215.5. He's just so calm and casual, having a bit of a laugh, waiting the wings. Yeah, look, I might just wander out and lift 215.5 today. What are you doing?
Bars loaded.
He is very calm, very casual.
This is a interesting little ritual he's got.
Yeah, just likes to grab the bar, have a bit of a stretch, give it a bit of a pat. Be good to me today. 215.5 for the world record. And he's no stranger to world records. It was tough, but he got it there. I think that was a bit tougher than he
There's
expected.
the world record.
Sakai Kino Promotion.
And shows a bit of respect to the crowd there. But he is not going to have it all his own way because Vladimir from the Ukraine, who smoked the 205, is putting a 216 for his
Next.
third.
Hussein Sajjad, India, 147.5
Sajjad Hussain
kilograms.
from India. 147.5.
I think this will test him, Gary.
Yeah, this will certainly push him to the edge a little bit.
Yes.
He's lifted above this before,
Okay.
but it was a little while ago.
Oh, was it?
So 147.5. I mean, his lifts has been good, but he does have a very long way to push that bar.
Look, it seems extraordinarily so.
It's almost the height of a squat rack.
Look, I was going to say that. Some people would have the squat rack that high. And I feel,
Bars loaded.
you know, there's quite a few benches, or well, there's quite a few powerlifters who've got longish arms, and, you know, you can see how far they've got to move the bar. And you just have this great respect for them because there's absolutely no
Yeah,
advantage
there's no
for
getting
them.
away with shortening that range of motion right
Well,
now.
I was just having a look at where he puts his hands, and I didn't quite catch it, but I think he's virtually on the outer edge.
He's having to work, but he gets it back to the top. It should be okay.
No left.
Unfortunately, he gets two red lights.
Next. McGee,
We'll have
Dan,
a look at
Great
the
Britain,
replay.
160
I
kilograms.
think
Let's
his
see if
butt
it's
might
hit.
have lifted up a little bit there.
Oh.
Could have been a bit hard to see from
Oh,
this
it's his,
angle.
it's his
Foot,
feet.
yeah, it looks like his feet
They're
come
on
off the
a
ground.
complete angle. He needs to get his
So
feet
that's something the coaches
down.
will address
Yeah.
after this competition.
because that was
Bars loaded.
unfortunate because he actually pressed that no
Yeah,
problem.
he did. So they'll address that and he'll come back out for his next competition.
Yeah.
Dan McGee from Great Britain now. He's been out the back hanging out with Bobby McGee, getting ready for 160. Viva Media are just loving those jokes.
No, we're not. I speak for them. He missed 155 and now he's put 160.
Yeah, it wasn't a weight issue, it was technical. And it
Wow.
clearly wasn't a weight issue. Did he get everything right technically?
Looked great.
He did.
Deadlifts.
It's on the board.
Next, Zivos,
Adam Sivas from
Hungary,
Hungary,
172.5
172.5.
kilograms.
Chief referee just standing up, making sure everything's right.
Bars loaded.
One 172.5. Dropped it hard on his chest. I'm not sure if that bar demonstrated a bit of a downward movement there. Let's wait and see what the refs say.
No
And
offense.
it has.
Yep, I
Next.
saw it.
Side ref
T.
and the head
Chris,
ref have
Great
picked up on
Britain,
that.
172.5 kilograms.
Chris Seguin from Great Britain, 172.5. And Suzuki has put in a 222.5. And he will just be waiting to see if Vladimir
Bars loaded.
gets the 216.
Then maybe he'll drop it down, but Kadama didn't.
Well, it'll be interesting because his 215.5 wasn't as quick as you'd expect it to be. And he almost looked like it was a little bit heavier than he thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So he'd have to drop it to 2. Well, he can actually do 2.6. He could do
16, he can
anything
do
really.
anything he wants.
He could, as long as it was up from 216.
Oh, he's having to work hard. He's pushed all the way through.
Chris,
From where we're sitting, it looks good.
marvellous.
And it is. He gets 2 white lights.
Next, Koschefer, Jürgen, Austria,
Jürgen
185
Kroshofer from
kilograms.
Austria, 185. Now,
Yeah.
second attempt was 185. He had 3 red lights. I can't, but we couldn't. Weren't quite sure what it was for. Was that lift?
Yeah.
Bars loaded.
All right. Well, he's going to put this one on the board now. Here he comes.
Rolls those shoulders back. Gets himself tightly set under and bringing his hands through like that. He's got a super grip in the palm of his hands with that bar. Oh, it's
And
just
it's
too
just
heavy,
a
Gary.
bit too much.
Yeah.
Just
No
couldn't
lifts.
quite shift it. He was
Next,
a bit all over the shop
McClellan,
on his touch.
Ryan, Canada,
So
185
Ryan
kilograms.
Mcclellan now, he's going to have a crack at 185 as well.
You know, really, these guys are quite a few of them are within 10, 20 kilos of each other. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, they're all very close, and they're all trying to find their way up the rankings a little bit, get themselves a few more points.
And some of them,
Bars
they're
loaded.
quite young, so they've got, and they've been competing for not that many years, so they really can make up those gains reasonably quickly.
Oh, that's exactly right. That's the great thing about powerlifting. The sport of powerlifting is, there's not a limit and say, oh, you're 35, you're too old to
No,
powerlift.
that's
I mean,
right.
these guys get stronger and stronger and stronger, and we see masters lifters
Oh, they
winning
continue to
and
get,
breaking records in the open division on a regular basis.
Yep.
Ryan Mcclellan manages that very well. Gets it on the board, and he's pretty happy with that.
Next, Giligashvili Levani, Georgia, 190 kilograms.
Lavani from Georgia, 190 kilograms. And he has had a very, very rough day.
Yeah, look, he has, and
Bars loaded.
not all of it's of his doing, I don't feel. Not sure that he's been handled entirely well either.
Oh, this is it, 190 on the bar. Come on, Lavani. You can manage this. He's lifted more than this before.
No, it's not
He
there.
just didn't really time it. He sunk it in deep.
Hip lift. Next, Becky Gunderson, Kim, Norway, 200 kilograms.
Yep.
Kim Beck Gunderson,
Bars loaded.
200 kilograms.
There's no need for that.
200 kilograms on the bar.
Oh,
And it's just too much.
No lift. Next, Shield, Garrett, Germany, 202.5
Garrett Shield from
kilograms.
Germany, 202.5.
so this would be a PB and great to do at World Championships.
202.5 kilos on the bar. And this will temporarily slide him into third position.
Bars loaded.
And Golden there. So this will slide him up the rankings. If he can put this one on the board, he might just find himself in a position to grab a medal.
Oh,
And it's just a bit too much, unfortunately. He gave it everything he had.
No lift.
We're getting down to the business end now.
Double
David
lift.
from
Becky,
Georgia, 205.
205 kilograms.
And he missed this on his second. Can he put it on the board for his third? Because this will slide him into third position with Gowden to
Bars
follow.
loaded.
Everyone's pushing themselves to the limit here, trying to slide up the rankings a little bit.
they've spotted an issue.
They have spotted an issue. See what the issue is. We'll send him off the platform. The wrong lifter took the platform. And Robert Keller, the under in the jury now. getting the clock restarted.
Yep.
Gabriella Denise, Georgia, 205 kilograms.
Clock
Bars
has
loaded.
been restarted now.
Okay. Just a procedure where a clock has to be started for a lifter and needs to be followed.
205. Oh, he's having to work. He just can't quite get there.
No.
No
Just
lift.
a little bit too much.
Next, Galdan.
Now the Mongolian
Ringelholt,
lifter for
Mongolia,
205.
205 kilograms.
We thought that was his lift.
205 on the board now. So he's trying to slide into the bronze medal position. He missed this. He missed 202.5 on his second. Now looking for 205 to try and get into that bronze medal position.
Yep, ahead of Gabalay.
So Davitt from Georgia on his first lift got 200, which might be enough to get him a medal. And
No.
that's a little bit too much. So he can't quite pull that off. So then Davitt, who managed only one lift, will take home the bronze medal. But right now, Vladimir from the Ukraine looking for a world record of 216 kilograms. It's a big jump from 205, but boy, that 205 moved fast.
Certainly did. It is a jump, but one gets a feeling he's trained himself for these tough jobs.
Bars loaded.
And this is the only opportunity he's going to get here to push Suzuki to the limit.
Kadama's watching from the crowd now.
216 kilos. Sinks it in, and he absolutely smoked it. And he gets the 3 white lights. So what is Suzuki going to do? Is he going to change it to 216.5, or he's going to stick to the 222.5? And I can see the coach over there at the box. He's changed it to 216.5.
Okay.
Which I think, given the pace of the 215.5, I think it's a smart move not to take the big risk.
Absolutely.
So
It's exactly 10 kilo jump.
216.5. And it's only a kilo more than he just lifted. And here he is standing in the wings. Very casual. What are you going to do on your Monday afternoon? Oh, I'll break a couple of world records. You can hear the crowd shouting out and supporting.
Bars loaded.
And you've got a big smile on his face. He's feeling good. He's had an absolute ball today. But to win this gold medal, he is going to have to take back the world record from Vladimir from the Ukraine.
He has
Here's
a little
that
chat
bar,
to
his
that bar,
pat,
doesn't he?
has a bit of a smile to the spotter. Ah, the lifting gods on his side today. $216.5. I think they are.
There it is.
Gets it back to the top. What do the referees say? It's a good lift with 2 white lights. He takes back the world record, and he takes the gold medal as well. Vladimir will have to go home with the silver. The vet from Georgia, who got only his opening lift, manages the bronze medal. What a fantastic
amazing
event.
turn of events.
World records all afternoon. It's been absolutely fantastic. Don't go too far away. We'll be right back with the medal ceremony, and there is lots more action for the rest of this week.
please make room for all lifters from the previous session. We will begin with the results for the men's open 74 kilo bracket. In third place, Poyet Bastien, France, 205 kilograms. In second place, Chubrinko Ivan, Ukraine, 213 kilograms. And in first place, Kodama Daiki, Japan, 225 kilograms. Please rise for the national anthem of Japan. And now the results for the men's open 83 kilo bracket. In third place, Gabelaya David, Georgia, 200 kilograms. In second place, Sauturian Volodymyr, Ukraine, 216 kilograms. And in first place, Suzuki Yusuke, Japan, 216.5 kilograms. Please rise for the national anthem of Japan. Lifters, you may now leave the platform. Let's have a big round of applause for all our lifters today.